Hello, hello. Let's see what we can get going. That is a wild looking back. Let's lock that down. I don't even know what's affecting that right now. Did I put a filter on it I did put a filter on it by accident. That's wild. All right. Hello everybody, and welcome to the stream. I'm just throwing some stuff on the background, getting some announcements out, getting in. Settle down, have some fun. I will try to keep the music a little bit lower than that, but we're just settling in, decompressing, letting some people filter in, and yeah. All right, there we go. Whew. All right, just give people some time, letting it chill. This is just gonna be the chillin' time. There we go. Right now we're just getting things sorted out so that I can get some people in here. And once that's all said and done, we can there we go. Beautiful. Throw that We're about to get him in here, and then we'll be able to kind of do a small, just kind of showing him what's going on. Set some ground rules, talk about Gen Con, and if there are any big things. Because he and I had a very big difference. And I feel like I should be setting groundwork right here. This is a really bad start to the stream, but that is okay. I didn't expect it to be good. I did not expect it to be good. All right. There we go. Beautiful. So, let's give a bit of a brief on this. So, what has gotten to happen is we've gotten to attend a wonderful convention called Gen Con. Now, what is Gen Con? Gen Con was is an event where board games primarily are the thing that are shown off to allow people to, well, buy and for companies to sell wonderful wonderful different creations, card games, board games, dice games, all of that. And actually joining me, I will have a wonderful guest that I'll let kind of introduce himself. And he is the reason why, not that I was not gonna go to Gen Con, but he is a great kind of a great anchor point to partially why I was at Gen Con. What's the best way for me to introduce you, my dude? Hello.
Should I pop open video? Oh no.
If you want to, I can start pulling you. I can pull up a nice little face thing.
Otherwise, I'll just be the strange voice in the background.
The strange voice in the back. Well, you're gonna be in the foreground, my man.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I'm Matt. I am from Infinite Citadel, and that was kind of what prompted me. Well, we've gone to Gen Con before as just like attendees and having fun, but that was what prompted bringing you on as like a formal, you're gonna help us do stuff dealio. So we were running a bunch of events and we needed some GMs to do it, and you're a dope GM, so we were like, hey, do you want to run events?
Yeah.
The rest is history.
The rest is somewhat of history.
Very recent history.
Very recent, as in you have gotten into you just got home like today.
Yes.
And
yeah, I just finished unpacking.
I technically got home today because
because you got it at midnight. Yeah.
Because I got back at midnight /1, but that's fine. I'm not worried. Yeah. But the big thing is when we were at Gen Con last time, and why I didn't really talk about it. Like, I already didn't talk about it enough, so this is going to be a surprise to people who are watching afterwards or talking about it afterwards. Because I didn't really talk about it. It's just when I missed stream last week, they went, "Why are you not there?" And I'll talk about it afterwards. It's fine. But last year, when you addressed, or that you said, because it's correct, we went not really as vendors, I guess. You specifically are a vendor. I'm not a vendor. I'm a shitter. That's that's gonna be the way to go. But we were both there as just simple attendees. There's a little bit extra behind that, but not by much. at least in my case. But now you, is vendor the best word to describe what you were this time?
Probably, yeah. Because, I mean, even last year, we were running events, like playtesting stuff, but we weren't under, like, the Infinite Citadel name yet. It was still sort of, like, hodgepodge, just testing stuff. Like, I've actually never gone to Gen Con without running events. So I've always had at least a little bit of an event organizer presence. I wouldn't have called myself a vendor, though. This year was more in the vendor realm of, like, bumping elbows and like doing a lot more networking and stuff. Like this year I did not go to any just for funsies events.
Yeah.
Like in the past I've always like, I'll sign up for a Pathfinder game or I'll sign up for this game just to like relax and have fun and chill as part of the event. This year it was all either business or business adjacent.
Got you. And I mean, I was about half. I would even say that because you guys didn't work me too hard. I was like, I'd give it 25 game master, 75% just con person. Con person in the nicest sense. Not that I was stealing everything, even though I did make out like a bandit.
You did. You always. I'm not gonna. Every time. This is 2 years in a row now that I like see your pile of stuff somewhere in the house. I'm like, Dad, JC is always fucking getting all the good stuff.
Absolutely. No, I specifically brought my greatest achievement, but I feel like I don't even know if I should be guilty or like scared about showing this inconspicuous white box on camera. Yes. I did get it through TSA, which I was really concerned about. But the coast is clear. I'm back with a bunch of paint.
Genuinely incredible.
But that's the fun part. I would say to lay out a little bit of ground rules for what specifically Gen Con was this year for us. I think it could be divided into 3 separate categories of things. At the very least, I could divide into 3 separate categories. Everyone had a very unique Gen Con, I will say. Everyone was looking at different things. And so, my personal thing was the Game Master bit, where I was running specifically Cyborg and a interesting little thing called Mork Soul, which I actually have the Game Master Ashcan with me. Yeah, I brought it.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Specifically. And yeah, but those 2 are the main ones. I ran more Cyborg than I did Mork Soul, but you were also involved in that game as well because you made like an expansion for it, temperamental upgrades. Then the kind of second part of it was going there as a just an attendee. That's kind of the easy thing, to look at things, to pick up things, and then just have a good time, meet friends, all that. The last one, which I feel like I got forced into, which is unfortunate because he backed out of attending, but one of the people that we were with at Gen Con kind of forced me into this last bit of the trifecta, which was as someone online. I don't want to say as an influencer because I influence nothing, but as someone who is a personality, as someone who does do live streams, talking with that, it's something that I've actively tried to not do. That's why I didn't really tell anyone besides the immediate people about Gen Con that I was going to Gen Con, but I got kind of pushed into it and bumping shoulders with really cool and really interesting people. Does that seem fair, at least, about for what you would describe it as?
Yeah, I mean, Gen Con's a big enough convention that's gonna be all different things to all different people. Like, yes, it's like you said, it's primarily board games, but it's also like just a ton of tabletop like role-playing games like D&D and all the others, Cyborg, Mork Soul. And then it's also like kind of anything adjacent. Like there's a little bit of video game presence. There's a lot of like virtual board gaming kind of presence.
Mhm.
And then there's like all of the like furniture and like gaming accessories. And so like there's just you got to play some laser tag events. Like it was so like there's everything there. There's LARP, there's cosplay, there's such good food, like
actual fighting events.
Right?
It's a thing is like both of us I feel can like say something that we did or heard about, and the other person's gonna be like, I have no idea, because Gen Con, someone even said to me, Gen Con has too much to do for any one person. And so this time, at the very least, because it's my second time, I divvied up my time better and actually got to not feel like I was missing things specifically.
Yeah.
And even though it felt like I was doing less, at the end of the day, when I looked back on it, I did way more. And did not pass out from exhaustion, which was an actual thing that I did not tell people happened after I came back from the first Gen Con. Not even came back, when my flight got delayed. And my body just had all the fight go out of it.
Oh my god! I think you might have told us like months later, like, Jesse.
Yeah, well, so part of that has to thank the people at the Airbnb that we were at. A wonderful crew of, I believe there was 10 of us in total.
There was 10 of us. Yeah, we were all jammed in like sardines.
Absolutely. But 10 of us in total, giving thanks to those people for extra information, extra tips, all of that. Even though I found out that the biggest tip was just Mel forcing me to go and eat. That generally stops your body from shutting itself down. Fun fact.
Yeah. There's tons of food there.
Yes.
Recommend doing a grocery. Like if you're trying to do Gen Con, first thing, don't try and do everything, especially not your first year. You're gonna feel like you missed out. It's okay. It's a learning experience. But the second thing, buy groceries and like pack a sandwich so that when you're in line for something, you're like, oh wait, I haven't eaten. You can just jam that sandwich while you're waiting.
We did a good job with the groceries, I think. You guys made a list, and I think the only things left at the time of it was like some milk, 3 eggs, butter, and Cheerios.
A little bit of lettuce and Cheerios.
Yes, the lettuce. I forgot about the head of lettuce.
But we used most of it for the tacos.
Yes, it was half a head of lettuce, but it was still in lettuce form.
Yeah. Oh, we did a good job. We purchased the correct rough amount.
The correct rough. But my main thing of that trifecta, wanting to talk about one, if you have another point on there rather than the trifecta that I described, that you believe Gen Con is there for, and also what kind of stands out to you about the most important kind of pieces of it, as someone who has theoretically has things on the booth and then will quite literally have a lot more in the future, since you've got a couple specific things that you can talk about in regards to games at Gen Con that involve your name.
Yeah. Don't let me ramble, but I think you kind of nailed it with like the 3 types. There's, broadly speaking, there's like vendor, there is participant, like you're just going to game, and then there's like the influencer, reporter, press, like social media, like you're just there to almost like talk about the event itself or just see what news happens. And I think very rarely is anyone just one of those 3 things. You are usually 2, if not all 3, in various amounts. And so like in my time, it's been, I am a gamer and a vendor, but the vendor part was like in the testing phase. So like I don't have stuff for you to buy, but I am testing products for you to be able to play, and you could go online and like shop for stuff. And that's been ratcheting up and up and up in percentages. So like first time I went, it was like 90% participant, 10% vendor. And those percentages have just been sort of shifting spots. And then this year was like 90% vendor, 10% participant, to a truly insane extent. And that was why we reached out to you and to the others about like, hey, last year we ran 6 events. and it was me and Conlon, one of the other people in Infinite Citadel. We were just running the events. We were the only ones doing it. It was just the two of us side by side doing those, and we did 6 of them. We're like, okay, that worked. We need to playtest these more. It's a good call to action to like get people to play the game, have fun, and then be like, oh, you can go and back it right now. And so then we were like, screw it, let's run 16 events, and that requires having more GMs than just us. And so that's why we brought y'all on. But the nice thing about Gen Con is that when you do a bunch of events like that, they give you GM badges for free, which means that we could pay y'all's ticket in to the con. Not flights and hotel, but at least get you through the door.
Look at you being like overly transparent with it all too.
Well, so one of the things that happened when I got back is I started talking in one of the like TTRPG creator servers that I'm in, and there's a lot of like assumptions, and I won't say misinformation because I don't think it's purposeful, but there's just like Gen Con is kind of opaque. If you're not used to running events, if you haven't done it before, if you don't know what it's like, it can be extremely difficult and like scary to try and do that side.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was walking around. It took a couple things, because the only difference between our badges and normal congoer badges is that they say Game Master on them instead of 4-day. I'm pretty sure yours said that too. I'm pretty sure yours was just the Game Master badge. It didn't say like publisher or vendor or something like that, but
mine was just actually a normal 4-day. We had a 5th GM badge that no one used, and then someone from like another organization that we're a part of ended up needing it, and so I just assigned it to them real quick and got it to them during the con.
Gotcha.
Because like I didn't want to. I could have given it to like myself or to Conlon, but we were like, we'd much rather get more people into the con.
I see.
We could, yeah.
Gotcha. No, it's it was a very, very fun thing from my side of it. From like a while ago, it's not like you a week before the convention went like, hey, run this. Although condensing everything down is kind of what it sounds like. Yeah. I had already, like, the second badges had went live, I was already like, yeah, I'll do Gen Con again. I'll see how it is. But to be honest, I was like, I'm probably not going to enjoy it as much as last time, because I did a lot of it. And it's because I went super hard and, like, did everything. I made a point of, like, walking around the entire convention center, every single building, like, 2 or 3 times a day. And this time I was like, I literally almost did see everything. The only problem was that there's 100 events running at once, and maybe there'll be something new. Maybe there'll be like, I specifically remembered like one person that I wanted to talk and hang out with and like try to get a card sign from. But besides that, I had no idea what I was going to do at Gen Con, and then you and then Conlon reached out and said, hey, how are you interested in, I forgot whether you framed it as in like just getting a Game Master badge or just actually running games. I'm pretty sure it was the latter.
We led with running games, and then we were like, okay, cool, you are. We could pay for your badge.
Yeah. Because I remember you being like, oh, did you already buy a badge? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, refund it. We've got you. But the experience of being a game master and going to the convention with the idea of, oh, I'm going to run something, completely turned the vibe of the convention on its head. It was less about finding something interesting and more about being something interesting. And
that's cool.
Yeah, it made the convention an entirely different thing, and I went around more as a personality, even when I was an attendee, and I didn't think I had to do it. I just kind of ended up doing it, and then I found out that that's why the Morxel game went from not sold out to sold out, because I was talking to people, and even though
really cool.
even though one of the 3 people were late, and one of the 3 people like was just gone. Full honesty on that. Maybe my personality doesn't attract the most on time people. Who still managed to run every single game booked out, at least on my end. I don't have the numbers that you might have about whether every single one of the 16 games were booked out, but I do know that at the very least I was running fully booked.
Yeah. I actually have the numbers because I was running them because I'm doing, like, now I'm in like post-mortem, what do we do next year mode. And like this was so valuable because it gives us a lot of lessons learned. I think that's another thing to, if you are wanting to look at Gen Con not just as a consumer, I think even as a consumer, if you're looking to do Gen Con as any of those three kind of archetypes, don't think of it as like, I gotta do it right this time. Try and do it right, but always be ready to be like, okay, I learned a little bit, I'm gonna do it better. You're always like researching that next thing that you're adding on. The next thing that we were adding on was other people running our games, and it turned out really well. So now we know we can do that. Now it's just a matter of what scale do we want to manage and such. So one of the things I was looking at is like, okay, which events sold well, which events were then attended well, because for example, almost all of the Thursday morning games were fully bought out, but those had some of the worst show ups. It was like a lot of people Thursday morning were like, I'm sleepy, I flew in last night, I'm not getting there. Like, I'm assuming that, like, that I don't hear from anyone.
Or, you know, people had like flight delays and didn't get in
Yes.
until Friday or late Thursday, and just the morning stuff is more apt to get missed.
Yep, exactly. And then like Saturday afternoon, one of the games was like only half bought, and then only one person ended up showing up, so we had like some like late ads to just kind of like help make it a playable table. But overall, well over half. So of the 96 people, of the 96 seats that could have been sold, 86 of them were sold, and then 75 people showed up across the whole weekend.
That's a great turnout.
Overall, very good turnout, yes.
Looking for like getting above the benchmark of like, I think it's like the benchmark is for general gaming things is like 65% attendance.
That sounds about right.
That kind of crushed it. Awesome job.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, that's partially to do with y'all, because like you said, you were selling those games, making connections and getting other people in the seats. And then once they were in those seats, they were having a good time. Like, this is going to sound very braggy. It's not to say it's braggy. It's to say it was extremely heartwarming and like inspiring to watch like someone else run our games. I was like listening and just hearing like the good times y'all are having, and then for them to get up and the first question is, can I buy this? That's a great feeling as like a game dev, is that like you played my game from somebody else running it, so that means that it was grokkable by someone else that wasn't me, and then they wanted to not just play it again, but go buy it so that they could play it.
A game master that doesn't, I don't want to say doesn't have context, but I'm going to say that because I don't intricately know why something has been done. I might know what is happening because I have the thing right here, and it says that this thing does how much damage it can resist, all of that. I don't know why you've made those decisions. I don't know what brought you to those decisions, and I would say I'm less likely to, not I can't, I'm less likely to change and adapt it in a better way, because I don't know if a particular point is the weakest point of the module, or a particular point is the strongest point of the module, and I don't know to accent that to the person.
Although, don't sell yourself short, because you did adapt some of Walking Cathedral to kind of tailor it to the groups that were there and make sure that you were emphasizing, like, you picked up the vibe and you knew how to run with the vibe, which is, when you're in those sort of like Morkborgy systems, that's our job as the developer, is to like give you a really strong vibe so that when the text isn't perfect, you're able to still pivot that into a really good experience.
Yes. I mean, it's a thing of, we can keep folding back on this thing worked because of another thing happened, such as I was able to adapt Walking Cathedral because you guys didn't just give me the book and say go. Because I'm not going to say any general specifics, but I did hear about someone getting given a book and a sentence and saying go.
We won't
not
name names, but
well,
yeah.
I will specifically say it is not you nor Infinite Infinite Citadel. That was not a thing. I got ash cans. I got a Google Doc that we went through, and specifically I remember taking notes for the module writer and working it because specifically what we were running, although Cyborg is a published book,
Yeah.
the and this ties into the worst part of the game, which was telling people that they're not physical, they're not actually out there yet. And so working with you guys to kind of get a little bit more context. I myself am someone who goes off of custom things. I go off of things that I have made and weighed the pros and cons of. And so that was actually my biggest fear, not running a different system, ironically, which in hindsight probably should have been my biggest fear. It was running a module, because I'm fine running something that is like, oh, you start at point A, you end at point B, which is what the Cyborg game kind of was. It was described in descriptions, which is a stupid way to say it, as a dungeon crawl of the four.
Yeah.
Of the four modules, this was the dungeon crawl. But because I specifically didn't choose what room was where, what was happening, that made me nervous, because my biggest, I think my worst game that I've ever ran was just a D&D 5e module, because I don't like running modules.
Yeah,
but given like being able to have a back and forth with the people who actually wrote it, let me feel a little bit more comfortable about kind of getting that out there. And that's why I feel like specifically for me it worked really well. And now I know more about the system as well as the modules.
Yeah. And that's the advantage of the scale we're operating at, right? Like, those who shall not be named, they probably couldn't do spin-up sessions the quality that we did, because there are just too many people. They're running too many events. But I think that therein lies the tension of like why it can be really daunting to be either a vendor, or maybe if there's 4 categories, it's like vendor and GM might be separate. Because I know a lot of our group has just like, I'll go in GM so I can like get a free book, or I can get my badge paid for, but otherwise I'm just attending the con. You're not actually sort of like, you're not invested in the product line. You're just running the product line. So maybe that's a 4th if there were to be one. But that could be really scary when it's like, God, doing GMing for strangers is always a certain level of like, I don't know what I'm going to get. Did they rogue up on the wrong side of the bed? Am I going to have a problem player? All kinds of stuff. It's a minefield. And then if you're running someone else's material, it's that anxiety of like, oh, I don't want to screw it up. So, yeah. That was a lot of our logic going into it, was we want to alleviate some of these pressure points of worry and just leave it like the only things that could go wrong are the con things that we can't control.
The specific other people.
Yes, we can't control what kind of players you'll get, but we do trust you to be able to handle them as good GMs, so we're just going to make all of the background matter that much easier to do.
And I guess kind of the big a question that I specifically had, I can't guarantee if how relevant this will be, but between the, I guess, range of there were 3 games you were all running. We've talked about 2 because I was specifically DMing 2 of them. There is this elusive 3rd game that I'm gonna say I was not good enough to do, but I said I'd rather do the other 2 games because I'm a scaredy cat. But of the kind of 3 games, they fell into, I guess, a little bit of a different category. 2 of Morsel and Beckoning Dream were your specific games. Your guys' names are on the page. You're the people to go to explicitly. Meanwhile, Cyborg as a system and as a book is its own kind of thing, and in the complicatedly not complex thing with the whole Borg system, you are making the expansion but
Right.
I don't know if you've had direct communication, let's say, with the people who made Cyborg specifically.
No. Well, I mean, no and yes. This is what I mean is that like anyone can make Cyborg content so long as you like do the little like bylines of their third-party license, which is really easy to do. So think of it like Cyborg has no Xanathar's Guide to Everything,
Yeah.
you know, to pick an equivalent D&D kind of product. Instead, the community makes a lot of Xanathar's Guides and Tasha's Cauldrons and all that kind of stuff. They make all of this new product to fill the space around Cyborg, and the same for like Morkborg. Where was I going with this? Oh, my brain. I am.
The two that you have made.
Yes. So the two that we made were Morksoul, which is Morkborg turned sci-fi action horror. So like Free League did Cyborg, which was the like official cyberpunk hack of Morkborg. And then this is where I was thinking. So like we never got in touch with Free League and like asked permission, nor would they want us to. But they don't like know us. They're not promoting us or anything like that. We just made a cool zine and we want people to play it. But we did for the zine. This is why I was a little bit yes and no. The editor of the original Cyborg book, Brian, was also the editor for Temperamental Upgrades, and they did an absolutely fantastic job and really amped up the like true genre affirming notes of the book. So it would not have been the zine that it is without Brian. So like all credit to them for doing a fantastic job. But that's why I said like it's a bit of a yes and a no. Like we did have some original Cyborg DNA in like the writing and editing department for our zine, but yes, it is not its own system. It's just add-on material for a system. Morksoul and Beckoning Dream, those are whole cloth new systems that are coming out that are just Infinite Citadel products.
Absolutely. Well, and because I wanted to kind of figure out did it feel, I guess, easier or more difficult to... I feel from the outside person who knows nothing that it'd be easier to make something like an expansion for Cyborg than it would be to make full-fledged games like Beckoning Dream, or even like something derivative of a game like Morksoul.
Yeah.
I've thrown your kind of Kickstarter Galaxy was supposed to save us picture up on the stream.
Amazing, thank you.
Just to show people, because games appeal to different people, and I know a couple of my friends would fall heads over heels with Beckoning Dream, but I'm not a tarot card guy. That shit scares me, and so Morksoul is my preferred game out of the two.
For sure. Yeah. And there's no bad feels in that. Like that's why I really am enjoying getting to make both, is because they are living in two very different like headspaces and use cases. Like and I will say like I will absolutely agree that like the effort of making a Morksoul way bigger than the effort of making a Temperamental Upgrades, because Temperamental Upgrades you can rely on a lot of the system doing some of those heavy lifts. So like I can write half of a sentence because I know the other half is already given to someone's brain by the core book. For Morksoul, especially with the way that we're doing like the combination of skip and scav. So a little bit about Morksoul. It is an action horror sci-fi twist on Morkborg. We call it a faster than light Morkborg. It is basically take the Expanse, Dead Space, the Dispossessed, Alien, those kinds of medias, and jam them all up and put them into Morksoul. Yeah, there's one of our player classes, like the freebooting, or the freebooting skip breaker. And that whole vibe is attempting to make skip combat, which is something that in the other sci-fi Borgs and other sci-fi OSR games is extraordinarily deadly, to the point that like the books are basically saying, hey, here are the rules for, you know, ship-to-ship combat. Don't ever use these unless you want to die. Whereas what we want to do is we're like, no, use these because ship combat's cool and it's fun to like throw bullets and missiles at another ship and have stuff explode and, you know, bob and weave through asteroids.
I mean, and because with Morksoul, one of the things that you and Conlon, the other kind of person behind this, kind kind of hammered into us. I wouldn't say hammer, that all sounds mean, but wanted us to have a highlight of was the ship combat. We specifically, the Borg system is something that actively goes against using minis, actively against using maps, actively against showing. It wants you to be descriptive with the flow of your words, with how you describe the scene. You're not supposed to say, I am 20 feet away. You're supposed to describe what's in between you and what you are apart from. And
lots of relative movement. If it's not theater of the mind, it's like loosey-goosey. Here's a room, here's a hallway, here's a room.
Yeah. I think with the most complicated cyborg thing, I took 2 pencils, put them down, and put a dice at the edge of it to simulate how something was standing in a corridor, because they're like, I don't get that. And I went boop, boop, boop. And they went, I get that. And we kept going. With the finale of Morksol that we are running, of specifically the module called A Ray of Light from Synthetic Dawn, you gave us a mat with ships and the station. And so you're obviously with a mostly theater of the mind thing, then to go into a map system, I think is going to be the biggest, I'm going to say selling point of it, the biggest differentiator between it and any other system variant of Morkborg. And
definitely. And there's another game that does something similar, Pirate Borg, because that one has ship combat. Because of course, if you're gonna be pirates, you want to be on a ship and you want to be swashbuckling and cannon firing. But that one uses, if I remember correctly, a hex map to do its positioning. Which we were like, let's do something that's a little bit more like hardcore rules light and almost theater of the mind, but still with a little bit of, like you're saying, map and mini. So it does feel like you are switching into a different mode of play, even if like the initiative system works the same for ships and for people.
Sick. Amazing. And I guess that's kind of the it almost makes me feel bad that my players blew themselves up, but
that was real funny. But I mean that's the Borgs, is that you could absolutely TPK when something silly happens. Like that's just what it does.
And I mean, it's a con event. The entire point of it is just to get memorable things. I think I've never seen, even in my own players doing one-shots, seen the thing of we're here for a good time, not a long time, embraced so effectively by people. And the people that I was running games for at the convention were all lovely. I was almost taken aback by the willingness of the like, even in the first game, the willingness of someone to say, oh, there's this problem, I'm going to do this thing that very obviously kills me, but makes it really funny to like punchline a joke.
Yes. I think so. One of the things I did as an attendee, although I still sort of put it into professional development, is I did one of Improv GM's. If you know Improv GM from TikTok, Michael Matthewson, I think is his last name. Amazing improver, like started an improv troupe, actually is like classically theater chops of improv. But he knows how to tailor that stuff into the world of TTRPGs. So I took one of his workshops, and he references the Alien game, which does a really fantastic job of like what he was trying to teach. But when I was talking with him after, like, a lot of the times when you're not role-playing to the caliber that you want to, it's because you're being too precious with your character and with your plot points. You're not taking the bigger swings that really make something narratively stand out. And something about the Borgs, Morkborg, Cyborg, Morksol, whatever, Bloodborg, Bunnyborg, all of them, Pirate Borg, those games teach you, don't be precious with your character, do really cool stuff. And so if you're so used to like, this is my baby, this is my OC, I have to be precious with them. If you're so in that mindset, play a Borg and just like make a dude that has one hit point and is utterly pointless, and then just have fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think I got to witness that in my second game, where someone made, I think, tried to get as close to their Cyberpunk Red character as possible, and someone that they told me, like, oh, I have like 5 years with this character, and I was like, this is a bad idea.
Don't do that. No.
And up until they kind of figured out the vibe of the game, they were terrified because they watched one of their, like, two of their companions walk in and get turned into red mist. And so the quick death games make an entirely different dynamic, and a very, I don't think I could ever run an effective D&D thing at Gen Con in this way, because I'm so used to treating the players like, yes, you're able to live, you're able to have this have this a little bit of a bubble. Like, it's a narrative bubble, and you can pop the narrative bubble, but there's still a rhyme of, I've made a character, I enjoy this character's going to survive. And in the board games, there's no pretenses of that. It's baked into the rules, it's baked into the creation.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is you were showing me the, a character died, roll for how the new one gets introduced. And it's just, go, have fun with it. And
yeah, that was a table we had a lot of fun designing. That was for our temperamental upgrades zine for Cyborg, and it's a system designed to, like, hey, because your dudes are so expendable and, like, brittle, you aren't just one character. It's more like troop style. It's like you have a bunch of different characters that are all part of this, like, conglomerate. This legion is what we called the rules. And so, like, if one of yours dies, or if you need to, like, do a quick swap, you could roll on this table of how the fuck did you get here results, and it just says, like, all these different things that are kind of a mixture of, like, okay, your new character's on the scene, but it has deeply complicated everything that's happening. Did you get to use that table at all?
I used it once, because
for the guy that lost his head.
Yeah. Yes it was. I was like, I described the table, and everyone was immediately infatuated with the idea of it. My favorite one is of you get your character gets split into two forms while they are, and then one kills the other. And then I even added on to that, where I described how this happened, and then I asked the very innocent question, is your character right or left-handed? And it determined which of the clones lived because of who was able to quick draw it better.
I love it. That's so cool. Yeah.
So
that's really cool.
But Gen Con was amazing. Maybe I'll get my head together for next year and kind of get a little bit more prepared. Hopefully I'll be able to we'll be able to see what comes in the future, but either way, I'm wishing the best of luck for the future of Temperamental Upgrades, Beckoning Dream, and Morxel. Absolutely. You know what? I'm going to show off the poster. I got the poster with me. Oh no, I'm going to get rid of my background because my...
it's green screening.
It's green screen.
Yeah.
No. But we'll pop that real quick. I'll go back to green screen land. Don't worry. Whip. We can show that off. Of just a brilliant piece of art. Brilliant. Come on, dude. Hello. Brilliant work on not just the art for the game, the concept of it, but the actual execution of the game itself. Nothing but compliments for you, Conlon, and everyone else that I got to vibe with at Gen Con.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I know that you're a busy individual, and so you've got to pop off pretty quickly.
I'm a sleepy individual.
Yes. That sleep can be busy.
Yeah, I just wanted to note. I want to do one last thing on that artwork. I got a shout out to first Conlon, which you already heard about, and then also Andrew Bowman, who has sort of like stepped in as like the art lead for Mork Soul. So that cover image, what happened there was Conlon in Blender made 3D renders of those spaceships and the space station they're heading towards, and then basically like exported like a screen cap of it. And then Andrew put it through a bunch of like gradient maps and sort of like photo bashing techniques to make it look that like pulp sci-fi classic vibe. So if you're into like the Morkborg vibe of this is a rule book that is also an art book, if that's your jam, this is going to have some really interesting art techniques in it with this combination of like 3D art and 2D art, sort of blend of both. And we're very excited to be able to like, if we get more backers on the Kickstarter, we're going to release more of those internal assets as like asset packs to the community so that folks can make their own Mork Soul content with the same sorts of techniques that we're using internally. But yeah, if that sounds cool, go check out infinitecitadel.com, sign up for our newsletter, check out our blog posts, and just keep in touch because we are going to be releasing a lot of stuff as soon as we're done sleeping for 8 days to recover from all of this.
Yeah, I just found out I'm getting sent to a different city for another job tomorrow morning, so I'll keep partying on in your name. Ooh, so you just make sure you have a good time, and maybe we'll find ourselves back here in a little while.
Absolutely would love that. You absolutely crushed it. Thanks again for coming and helping us. And yeah, you are always welcome back. That was an absolute blast.
100%. Can't wait for next time. Thank you so much. Matt is an amazing individual. Infinite Citadels is such a generous thing, letting I would say little old me, but I'm a door of a man out into the Indianapolis area to go and abuse some Cyborg and Mork Soul players on their behalf. If any kind of last parting words that you have before you got to take off?
I think I already did all the shilling I can. Just have a good time, have a good rest of the stream, and I'll see you next time.
Much love, dude.
Have a good one. Bye.
All right. And there we are. Speaking of people, you've just been kind of chilling in the background. I don't exactly know when you joined, but welcome to our co-host on this. Hi, James.
Hello.
I didn't realize that you had immediately jumped in. I thought you were chilling. When I message you that I'm just talking to Matt right now. Good to talk to you again. It's been a moment. I've been busy and out of just absolutely just swamped.
Yeah.
I do think that I can pop open something in the background as we are having a good time. If you wanted to open up a co-op game, we can, James, just to talk and de-stress, but this is going to be just... You've been doing an event, I've been doing a couple events, and talking about why I disappeared for a week. 2 weeks for you, a week for everyone else.
Right.
Let's see. I didn't even ask you about if there was a specific thing you wanted to do, or if you just wanted me to run gameplay of something on the back of my stream.
Not particularly. Honestly, how do you feel about balls?
Balls? Okay, sure. Do I have it updated? That's the real question. Let's find out. I'm gonna click on it, and we're gonna find out. Please tell me I didn't uninstall it. If I uninstalled it... Shit, James, I uninstalled it. God damn it!
No!
It was because the software bloat had made it 210 gigs. It had nearly doubled, so I uninstalled it. Because I had it day one, and then I just never uninstalled it. Oh no.
That's
Baldur's Gate 3 would have been a great backdrop to this. Especially because I saw more of the cast. I didn't mess up as much as I did last year about it, but it was the older members of the cast, so I don't think they were quite at the bars. But I was gonna talk about that. I actually was in the situation to be at those the places that I missed out on, the bars and the after parties of last year. Specifically because of those wonderful people that I was talking about with Matt.
okay. Were you there for the announcement?
So
The announcement?
the announcement, I was, so they announced it at a private event,
Okay.
and so basically you had to pay, I think the cheapest I saw when I opened it up was $93 for the nosebleed seats there. So I instead went to a party with a couple with actual influencers instead of going to the Critical Role thing.
Okay. Understandable.
Thank you so much for figuring it all out, and good to hear from you. That was Mel, a wonderful individual from the convention, and one of the fellow game masters for Infinite Citadel. Let's see. I mean, unless if we figure something out, I'm just gonna open up Marine 2 in the background, just so it's there. If you have a co-op game, let me know, but otherwise I'm just gonna be a wuss.
I mean, I just opened up Siege.
Oh, hi Cash.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi. Just finished talk. Are you playing Siege from a different state? I just remember what you had said about today.
No. We're fine. We made it back. We didn't have to go to Boise.
Good luck. But I'll see about that. I probably shouldn't be playing too tactical of a game while we're decompressing and talking about Gen Con. I just want to talk about Gen Con
I mean,
as
there is a pretty cool event,
a pretty cool event.
Pretty cool event. Pretty cool skins.
Oh boy. But trying to, I guess I can just kind of go through and describe stuff if you guys are up for it, and tell you about how things are.
Yeah, for sure.
So as I've kind of let fully loose, I went to Gen Con Indianapolis, one of the largest gaming conventions in the world. I don't know if they're still number 2. I know at the very least Comic-Con's still bigger. I don't know if they've went down in a rank, but I do know that allegedly there was 83,000 people there this year.
Jesus.
Yeah, I found out that it is the event of Indianapolis, as in like the city bends and warps around around Gen Con, which is insane, but you know, when you look at it, it makes sense. But it was a great time. I got to go there not just simply as a attendee, but as a game master, and I had a amazing time getting to run 2 systems, an expansion for a game that is currently already out, and a game that is currently being made. The one that I was showing what they call an ash can for on stream, which is Mork Soul. I can go through kind of the descriptors. Matt would be better at describing it than me, but the game that both of these games are kind of intertwined with is from a game called Morkborg. And Morkborg is a gritty, grimdark live fast, die as soon as possible system, where you can go and you make a character, you roll it up in like 5-10 minutes. 5 minutes if you don't really care. 10 minutes if you really do care and you want to like roll for what jacket your character has. But that is the kind of long and short of it. And it's just got Cyborg. The first system I was running is just best way to describe it is Morkborg with a cyberpunk neon coat of paint. And then Mork Soul, it's not truly, but the way I like to easily describe it to people is like the vibe of Alien over this system. And so for one of them, you're in that cyberpunk-esque world, and then for the other one, you're trapped on a spaceship or a space station. And yeah, I spent about 25% of my time running the game, and the other 75% just being a congoer. I don't want to say being a normal person, because still being a normal person running a game, but being a congoer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then I made a killing as a congoer, to tell you the truth.
Really?
Yeah. I actively even frustrated the people I was chilling with how much stuff I was getting away with getting at the booths. Which I think is incredibly funny. I don't even think I could list off without going through like and visually confirming everything. But I think the stuff I should be like starting with is probably the stuff I paid for, because I did buy a couple things. And I think you guys will particularly find cool the first thing I bought. So I'm explicitly not gonna start with the first thing I bought. I'm gonna go backwards. I got patches because since being a Boy Scout, I have a weakness for patches, and they were selling a patch set for the convention, which is amazing. And then just one of the like kind of stupid shirts that you can buy from a stand, because I thought that was good. And then the only other thing I bought at the convention is a one-of-one artist sketch of a Magic the Gathering card and an artist proof to go with it.
What card? I can't see that.
I know, it's on the small thing. It is specifically involuntary cooldown from Urza's, from Brothers War.
Okay.
And the reason I bought it, because one, Brothers War is a very dear set to me. I mean, you guys know that. But it's kind of the set where I started like actually caring about Magic.
Right.
And then, with the first set that I was making, because of Brothers War, or the first commander deck I was making, being Urza Lord Protector, when I was just didn't know how to look up cards or make a deck or anything, I put involuntary cooldown in the deck, and I remember it serving me unnaturally well before I put, like, you know, a combo in there instead of just being robotic beatdown. But yeah, so not only do I have the artist sketch that the artist like makes before he gets approval and sends it off to Wizards before he gets approval for it, and like actually digitally or oil or however they make it, because I found out that Wizards just kind of allows the artist to make it however they see fit. So a couple of them, because there were a lot more Magic artists at the booth. at the convention. Like, there were almost no Magic creators. I actually only saw one and heard about two.
Really?
Yeah, at the entire convention. I knew Olivia from Elder Dragon Hijinks was present, but I didn't see her. One of the vendors that I was shacking up with over the week just told me that they saw her when they were setting up their booth, because she does run a game company as well. So she could have just been not there as a Magic person. And then I was specifically at a after party when Maultown showed up. Maultown is specifically a person known for berating people that are doing cheesy things with their Magic Commander decks and making inflammatory videos about that. But yeah, those were. I had a very nice extended conversation with Maultown, because it turns out when you find a creator at a creator party, they talk to you longer than if you find them at the convention and they're like signing cards and stuff. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
But yeah, there was an entire hall of the convention, or entire row of convention booths dedicated towards Magic authors. And some standouts that I think you would have thought were cool was one of them, who was actually so important he got his own hallway, was not just the person who made, or like headed the Baldur's Gate and D&D Forgotten Realms set of Magic, but he was the person who created the art for the Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, Volo's Guide. Like, he's that guy.
That's sick.
Insane. I believe his signatures were the most expensive. I know his tokens were the most expensive. His tokens were $50 for one token.
Holy crap.
But to give you a little bit of reasoning why, not to defend it, because it is too rich for my blood, but it was him hand drawing the tokens one of one at the booth.
Okay.
So everyone else had like printed tokens, whereas he was actively drawing them as you were talking to him, which is dope. But he was a standout. The other one that I think was the biggest standout was the guy who made Necropotence, Winter Orb, Time Twister, like the really old cards. City of Brass was another one he did. Emrakul, the original Emrakul art, the one that's banned in Commander.
Yeah?
Yeah. And because of how the type of cards Wizards have him make, it was actually kind of the opposite with his pricing, where like all of the artists generally sold the same things. They sold tokens of their own design, they sold prints of their art, and then they sold artist proofs, which is like the 1 of 50 white back cards that Wizards gives out.
Okay.
For him, if you bought a print, it would be exponentially less than buying one of his cards, because, you know, he has Time Twister as a card. He has the old school Necropotence as a card. But if you bought one of his artist proofs, you'd be shelling out tens of thousands of dollars. Because it's, 3rd edition Mana Crypt, cool. An artist proof. It's so... I could not get over that, comparison. Then the final one that I think I'll talk about specifically is I did meet the guy who's in charge of one of James's favorite commanders. God, I don't even remember her name. The red-blue one with wolves. Or red-green one with wolves. Faldorn. Dreadwolf Herald. Now I remember the entire name. I met him, and he's also the guy in charge of Theros. I didn't know that. So he's in charge of all the constellation cards.
Mm-hmm.
Which was very cool. Very neato.
Yeah, those constellation cards look amazing.
Oh yeah, he knew it too. They were the most expensive things at the booth. Hello! Oh my god. I just need to watch. I don't know if you typed all of that at once, Mel, or if my Streamlabs just updated with that, but Jesus Christ. Lord, I just got so many messages at once, so I'm gonna assume that that was not, that was Streamlabs being dumb. But we've got a, hello Hunter Joe and hello Figuring It All Out. That was a rapid display. Okay, so I'm not insane. Or no, my Streamlabs is not lagging. That was just an insanely fast typing. Sick. Yeah, hello. Also, I can say shout out to Aaron in the chat for being the absolute mad lad for me to say, hey, do you mind taking me to the airport at 3 in the morning? And him being like, yeah, I got you. I'm like, are you sure? I will get an Uber. He's like, you don't need an Uber. I got you. And then for me to be like, okay, hear me out for a moment. Are you also okay with picking me up at midnight on the day I get back? Hello, Timothy. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for the subscription. Yeah. So, big shout out to Aaron. I feel like I should give everyone that I was with a shout out, but the bringing me to the airport specifically meant a lot. It was very kind of you. But now I should kind of go over the highlights of I guess the more interesting the kind of events, unless if I'm talking too fast and you need a break. Am I rambling specifically, James? I need you to be my moderator. I need you to keep me grounded. What about you, Cash?
I'm chilling.
You're chilling? Alright.
I'm chilling.
I was, unfortunately, oh, you know what? Now I'm making myself feel guilty. I should have asked you, Cash, if you wanted me to buy you the, I think, was it a Tau or Crute, like, flesh shaper that they had at the event, or something like that? It was like one of the a commemorative thing was there.
Oh, sad.
I should have asked. I didn't think about it, and now I feel dumb.
Ah, you did.
Fuck.
You did.
I was...
I
I was a little focused, but yeah, I'll try to remember if I go next time. Fuck, both times I've went to Gen Con, I came back and went, shit, Cash plays that army, doesn't he? Because the first time was like the Commissar that they had. And I told you, and I don't know if you acted that way, but I do know that I felt guilty. And then I just remember, I was like, fuck, Cash was literally playing Tau in the tournament.
I was actively playing them.
It's okay. I was too busy dying to orcs, in at the convention. In the most fun, most unbalanced game of laser tag I ever played.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll go into a bit of the like Games Workshop stuff before I get into free stuff that I got from the convention, because who would have thought they kind of tie together a little bit. But I was looking through the events because I was like, okay, last year a thing that I specifically said I'd do is not pay for like not pay extra for an event. Yes, sir. I'll get on that. Laser tag with orcs.
Yeah,
But
that's-
because it's like, oh, the con pass is like the most expensive con pass ever, like comparatively to all the other cons I've been to, which are like 3. But because the company that I was running games for paid for my convention pass, I was like, yeah, I'm going to use that as a budget for events, like paid events. And so when I looked at the events, one of them was Kill Team Live. And it said Warhammer 40k laser tag. And so I was like, this is awesome. I'm gonna see about going to that. And regardless, without playing, or without complaining about Gen Con's will call line, and how the same line that people use to pick up tickets to get into the convention, you also then need to go back into the will call line, or if you have picked up your ticket from online resources and did not, to specifically skip the will call, you need to get back into the will call line to get a ticket. And so it sucks, because the will call line all the way up until the final day extended almost outside of the building. It was so bad. But regardless, I got to go, and I found out it was Astra Militarum versus Orc Commandos. And I didn't realize it, because the first time I did it, I played as the Orcs. I just got sorted into the Orc side. And they don't explicitly tell you. But the second time I did, I got sorted into the Imperial Guard the Imperial Guard group. And it shows you how much health you have and how much rounds you have. But the game is not made to be balanced. The game is made to be realistic to Warhammer's lore, because the average guardsman has 25 to 50 HP, and the shots do 25 points of damage, so like as a guardsman you can get one shot. The orcs have like 200 to 300 HP.
Solid.
And it's 8v8. They do not make there be more Astra Militara members.
Just gotta play better.
We got
Yeah.
some beautiful propaganda from the Games Workshop team, completely in universe and everything, that say, because every time you walk into the event, it shows you that the guard just in fact did just win the last game. But every person that played the event that I talked to said, no, the orcs destroyed us. Every single person that I talked to, whether I knew them or not. And it's so funny. I love it so much. I do think that that is the only way that Warhammer's the only medium that I can think of off the top of my head where the fans are so into the lore that they're like, yeah, this is sick as hell and makes complete sense why we can't win.
You're giving me unbalanced game against orcs? Hell yeah!
It was so funny.
Oh, guess what James picked up?
2 of the raffles.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
no,
saw.
not that.
You got some hella loot from your games. Laser tag with orcs
he
signed
didn't
me up.
get that.
No,
He bought something. He bought something.
he bought something.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
I
yeah.
did.
I
He
take it
bought
this is 40k related then.
I did. I bought about 1,700 points in Tau for like $200 from one of my high school buddies. who
I
went to
can't
that.
even blame you. Jesus
right?
So-
Christ.
So, most of it's not useful.
No.
What do you mean not
But
useful?
it
Like
is-
broken?
As in,
3D
like,
3D printed.
Ah, okay.
The guy marketed it as 2,000 points of Tau it's close of 2,000 points of Tau, just not in a cohesive manner.
Was he not upfront about it being 3D printed?
He showed me all the models before I bought it.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure like you weren't duped, because then I have to turn my voice from that's
So,
super
alone
sick.
in it, there were like 4 Devilfish and like 5 commanders that were just straight Games Workshop.
Okay.
So at that point I was like, just those models alone are kind of worth it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay.
Against 1 or 200,000 Tyranids. I like those odds even without them.
I mean, if I was to guess what your next faction would have been, I would not have guessed Tau.
No,
But you know,
guessed Tau for
victim
James.
to circumstance.
I would have
will
guessed Tau for
say
James.
I will not be building out the Tau army until I finish with Grey Knights and probably do one other faction.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Grey Knights are just about to start getting their stuff, so...
Exactly.
Have you seen
Well,
the
and
Black
I got-
Templar Codex stuff?
I have not.
They're finally, like, eating good. Like, I don't know how good it's actually going to be, but at the very least, the marketing for how good the... Like, the Black Templar should stop being the bottom of the barrel army.
Mhm. Everyone I talked to who had any knowledge of Grey Knights at the event was
Disappointed.
understandably dissatisfied with the Codex.
Yeah. I mean, are you doing alright with
But-
the Codex?
It's fine. I'm mostly upset that there's no individual sale for the new Grandmaster in Nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
If there was that, I'd be a little bit more okay with it, but as it stands now, it's only available in like the $230 battle box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Time to look for a
Yeah.
3D print.
yeah.
Or you just say
Yeah.
this my Dread Knight is a Grandmaster Dread Knight.
Yeah, but at that point, after playing this tournament, I need to get at least 2 more Dread Knights to make my list any kind of like
So-
reasonable.
From what I saw, triple Grandmaster is gonna be the way to go.
Yep, it's going to be triple Grandmaster and 2 normal generally, and for anyone running the full Dread Knight like detachment, it's going to be all 6.
I mean, the only thing I can say, which isn't really a good thing to say, is at least that was the way people were already playing it, so it's not like how with the Necrons it was like a complete like change to what became useful when the Codex came out.
Yeah, unfortunately, they did just kind of push it forward. I would have much rather had a shakeup than to just be told, oh, actually, it is just going to be all Dread Knights for the next 5 years.
All Dread Knights.
All Dread Knights, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and we take what we get and hope for better next time, I guess.
Yeah. Ironically, I did not, at the convention, I did not see Games Workshop shilling the new stuff at all. It was insane.
Really?
Because, I should preface, the 40K stuff at all. They're all about Horus Heresy at Gen Con. They had an entire section.
Yeah, because they can't sell it.
They had an
They can't sell
entire section dedicated towards this massive apocalypse game of Horus Heresy that was happening. It was, honestly, it looked very cool, and they had like a professional painter on the 3rd floor painting the Horus Heresy box set, and then as the event went, you could watch as what she painted in real time get put in the display casing.
That's pretty cool.
She was very talented. She was a very nice person. It's just, yeah, I've heard that the that Heresy has not been doing the best, and so I'm like, yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
might just be expecting that that they need to let Warhammer be good by itself and just let let Heresy get some help, because it sounded like Heresy needs it.
Oh, Heresy's not in a good spot right now.
I mean, that's fair. Thought the new Space Dwarfs Codex was pretty good too. Yeah, to be honest, the Votan are a very interesting group in my opinion. I don't know if they're like considered getting interesting.
Well, they did double the amount of models they had, so...
Yeah, like, they're finally getting the other half of their range. Good for them.
I need to step away for a moment.
That's all good. They're getting their other half of the range. Like, good for them. But... I don't know. I'm still incredibly biased towards Krons at the moment.
You've always biased towards Kron.
I know. I'm just, upfront about it. I have now watched every single person I know that plays Warhammer by another faction, whether they've started before or after me. So, yeah. That's it. That's the long and short.
Who wants to set the next fire trap?
But no, I think Warhammer, regardless, will do just fine. I do think Heresy's gonna be the one having issues. I think everything that's not 40k is having issues. Ironically, it even sounds like Sigmar's having issues.
What they need to do for Heresy is just redo the book. They just...
Oh really? Is the new edition that bad?
Oh, it's not good. Everybody hates... Because they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like Heresy 3.1. And then they're like, how about we just change everything and take out half of everything? And people are like, but you said we kept all of our stuff. Why are we not keeping our stuff? And so people are pretty pissed off about it. And it's not
What
selling.
faction is that for?
Oh, it's not for a faction, it's for Horus
Oh, it's
Heresy.
Heresy. Got it.
But yeah, no, I think anything that's not Warhammer is just inherently struggling a little bit, because I think that only Warhammer is the one that can be successfully supported at the time. Successfully supported, I should say. But over free Warhammer stuff, I can now say I have made and painted a squad of Space Marines without buying a single Space Marine.
How the hell did you manage that?
So, at Gen Con, you can go to the Warhammer booth and you can walk up and paint, and they give you an Infernus Marine. And so now, over several days, where like I went 3 times this time, this convention. I went twice last convention. And so now I have 5 Infernus Marines. And if I recall correctly, Space Marine player Cash, 5 is the minimum for a squad.
I love Infernus Marines.
But like 5 is the minimum for a squad, right? I could...
Yes.
Yes, okay. Now I do have a Gen Con Space Marine Infernus squad.
I want more Infernus Marines. I want more flamethrowers. I have Vulcan on the way.
You have Vulcan on the way? Sick. But,
Yay.
you know what? Here, I can... where's my... Oh, it's because Space Marine's loading, that's why. But...
How long has Space Marine been loading?
No, like the mission. I just went through a mission.
Oh, I was like...
But, like... You don't get a lot of, like, the good... Like, intense detail in there. Like, you're not trying that hard and you're using like whatever paints they give you. Like I've got these guys in a box. I also, because the Reaper miniatures have a stand to do it as well, have 2 minis painted from their booth.
Oh, so you just get to keep whatever minis you painted?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I specifically chose these of like monsters that I should have in my D&D collection. I could have been really lame and painted a chair because they were offering furniture to paint. But I picked, I should do this. I'm gonna go to here. I've got a Mind Flare. Oh, and the green is even being green screened out right now. Got a Mind Flare that I painted. And I got Mr. Hoot, the owl bear, covered in blood.
Oh yeah, you sent me the picture of that.
Yeah. And like, that's just fun. That's just good, clean fun. And then I had a pretty good, Helldiver situation pop up, where I saw a Helldiver cosplayer. I was like, "Oh, that's very cool. Let me get a picture of you." And he was like, "Do you want a picture with me or of me?" And I'll do both. But I'm here by myself, so I can't really like do that. And a guy like jumped in. If I had been thinking about it, he jumped in like immediately, and I should have been a little bit suspicious. But he jumped in. He's like, "Oh, I can take the picture of you guys." And he took the picture, and he went, "And this is for you," and pulled a Helldivers mini out of his pocket and gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not painted. It's 3D resin. Like, it's a 3D printed resin. But he gave me a Helldivers mini. Like, that's so cool.
Right?
And so and then I guess I should add this in for the mini count. You guys know who Dwarven Forge is, right?
Nope.
Dwarven Forge is like a very old school like terrain company. They make really intricate terrain. Like, you know what? Here's an example, because guess who got a piece of like just a whole ass? They just gave me a wall. Like it's a cave wall. The green is getting filtered out by the green screen. It just looks it looks like nothing, but that is like a bright neon green. And it's magnetized on the bottom, and they're like, yeah, if you purchase more Dwarven Forge, you can expand. Obviously, it's a marketing thing, but like, it's now I have a piece of wall to use as a reference point. And then
That's awesome.
And then finally, the actual one is the actual final minis are for I don't want to say shilling because they don't have anything to buy, but Morxel as a gift from Infinite Citadel, they gave me a little 3D. It just looks like a potato in my hand because it's not painted, but a 3D PLA printout of the asteroid space station that the module is on. And then at the end of the convention, when we were kind of packing everything up, I went back to one of the creators, Conlon, and I was like, hey, I just realized I packed the ships in my bag and never actually put them or gave them to Matt. We're at your house right now. Do you want them? And he's like, no, they're yours now. So now I have the ships from Morxel as well, which is very cool. The Skips. I should use their proper name. They're not called ships. It's a different universe. They're called Skips. Mm-hmm. So it's like a miniature space station, 5 little ships. They're about the size of a normal model. 3 Space Marines, a Mind Flare, an owl bear, and a helldiver. And a piece of terrain. I got the Gen Con D&D D20 again.
That's pretty good.
This one, I like the color better because it's red, obviously. It's like a jewel red. And then I got a couple other dice. I got a wooden D6 from Geekson. They're a table company, a D&D table company, that are actually like a electronic table. So you could raise it up to like make a multi-leveled map. I got one for Gen Con, a Gen Con fan group on Facebook, a D6. I got just an actual, just like plastic D20 from a card game company because they were handing them out, and I played their game, so I got it. And talking about the Magic cards, they're upset about this because on the third day I came back and they were talking about how Magic was so expensive, and so instead of buying the Final Fantasy Magic cards, they bought the Final Fantasy trading card game instead because it was cheaper. And I was like, oh, I just got these for free, and hold up a Edge of Eternity booster and a Final Fantasy booster that the Magic booth gave me. I also found out that Edge of Eternity's art is being done by, headed by my favorite Magic the Gathering artist, Dominic Mayer, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool.
I'm a little bit embarrassed that I didn't buy a playmat because I do think the playmats were better than the Bloomborough playmats, but they had, for some reason, it didn't really feel like a Gen Con exclusive playmat, so I didn't get it. Got some patches and pins and stickers, and then thank you from the company, and then a couple of the it just looks like I'm holding up sheets of paper, but these are like actual games, like games that you can do. Like this one is a dice game made by one of the people I was staying with, Andrew. It's called Gentle Mages. I've got the Ray of Light from Synthetic Dawn, which is Morksoul. There was another one that I must not have brought in here. There was a couple posters that I got for free from the Magic booth. Some pins that I got for free from the Magic booth. And then I think the two very, very cool things. I don't know how well this will show up, but I won this in a giveaway. This... Oh yeah, oh my god, it just changed the bright, it's so bright it changes the green screen brightness. This is a light up die, also known as the power of the sun, apparently. And
That's pretty cool.
Every time you move it or shake it for rolling, you know, it lights up, and you can apparently connect it to your virtual tabletop via, like, it's programmable is the thing. You can connect it with that, and when you roll it in real life, it rolls virtually, which is insane.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then finally, a thing I'm not sure I should talk about, but I'm gonna. This bag has a couple Citadel paint pots at the bottom, and it also has a box. This white box is filled with an unspecified amount of Citadel paint that Games Workshop gave me for free.
Why?
I
For what
will.
reason?
An unspecified amount that may or may not be getting put in the Warhammer chat right now. Of paint. Let me actually look up the going rate for this. So oh my god, they're right. There's no way that's is that the GW price? Oh no. It might have been worse. Please, why won't you just tell me the price, GW website? Don't try to market them to me. Just tell me. God damn it. Okay. I'm gonna cry. But I'll give you this undisclosed price of paint that I was given for free. This estimated amount of paint, undisclosed amount that I was given by the booth.
Dude, what the fuck?
What? Why?
So it was at the end of the last day, and I was painting a Marine. I didn't even get to finish him because we were so short on time. Partially because we were so short on time, and partially because I told them that I'd help them clean up.
Okay.
And so we had these boxes that were given from from another booth to just put the paint in, and then we'd give it to the GW staff. And the last kind of box that got filled, I was gonna hand it to the guy, and he's like, "That's yours." And I went, "What?" He went, "Yeah, that's yours. You helped." I was like, "Okay." And I picked up my Marine, and I picked up my box, and I left. And
Share some.
yes,
Yeah, pass some of that out.
Some of that around here.
it's contrast paint, but I'm sure you guys don't care. And so I've been giving paint out to different people in the house that I had been that I'd been rooming with over the week. Next time I see you guys, I'll have some pots for you guys. I found out that they're like $10 to $12 a pot. That's why. And yeah. So I figured you two, Jim, Josh, Aaron, any of you guys that need some contrast paints. Oh, I have some from my Gen Con experience. It's so stupid. It was just being in the right place at the right time at the end of the convention. Mm-hmm. But you know, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah. So that's why I saved that one for last of stuff that I'd gotten for free from the convention.
That fucking pays for the convention.
Shut up! Don't say that out loud. But yes, it was a pretty lovely
What?
gift.
Do you not like hearing that out loud?
No. I feel afraid that, like, because they're a very lovely person. The event was wonderful. All of that. They were in agreement. This was multiple things in action. All of this, They were tired. It was the end of the day. I was helping them. I wasn't expecting them to give me paint. I was just happy that I could paint at the end of the convention because that's what I always do. I always go to either the Warhammer or the Reaper booth and just paint something. I don't want a UK executive, which I know the chance is like less than 1%.
Right.
But we've had live streams before where all of a sudden there's 500 views on the live stream, and so that means there's a chance that 500 views could turn into 1,000, could turn into 10,000, and at that point, it's actually likely that someone who does not have tired workers in mind and is just angry. And I don't want to get them in trouble for being nice people and allowing me to assist them in cleaning up. So that's why.
Understand.
I'm not embarrassed of receiving this. That is not even remotely the issue. I just want to make sure that that person is all Gucci. And that is it. Oh. But yeah, I hope that I'll be able to assist them at Gen Con again. I know that they said, although they did not guarantee it, and this is by no means me trying to bully them into doing it, but they said the Game Master thing, or the convention pass is just, it will happen. That's a guarantee. If I run a certain amount of games for them, they will pay for the convention pass. But they were also seeing about getting either plane fare comped or the housing comped, or a combination. And so, if that happens, then it seems that I will be adding to my resume Game Master, convention Game Master into the list of things that I've done. So, just much appreciation and much love to the folks at Infinite Citadel. It was an amazing convention. I got to do just a bunch of cool stuff, cool people, cool events, cool things. I don't know. I can't wait. I'm unfortunately for just getting back into the normal swing of things. I'm not sure if James heard, but I might be sent to a different state for work, like actual work, for like a long amount of time. And so that very well might cause a issue for streaming next week. But at the very least, I'm trying to get stuff back onto the normal schedule. It will take another half month to do that, but we'll get there. Speaking of cool stuff and polls, I hear that you two and Jim all got together.
Yeah. We did some stuff. Did some things.
Yeah.
You did some stuff.
Did some stuff, did some things. I went at least even, so I'm happy with that.
I consider myself going even though I technically went 2-4. Because I lost a game on paint points on day 2. Since my army wasn't painted, which is fine.
I mean, losing to paint score, I take it as I'm not going to say like a compliment, but as a proof that you are
Exactly. I took it as I didn't make major misplays during the game, and I took that as a victory because it was my first GT.
100%. And how'd the first GT go overall for you? What you rate it?
10 out of 10 because I won 2 raffles and a silent auction and ended up with like $300 and shit. So
Yeah, he got a lot of crap out of it.
like I put that photo out. One of those like big models is a Reaver, one of them is a Necron. All those fucking bases, coins, books, dice, so much shit.
Yeah, you made out like a bandit.
Mm-hmm.
No, I really hope that the GT is not on the same time as Gen Con next year, because I'd love to do that stuff. I really that was honestly the worst part about Gen Con, is that I knew that I wasn't there with you guys. But you guys killed it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys did great. And
I think I had one of the most fun games ever. I've probably hands down against the Dark Angels player I played against. Oh, god damn, that shit was good.
no.
Yeah, it was super fun. What did I go into? I went into Dark Angels for my first game, which I lost just because it was a really not great matchup for me.
Was he the one that had a bunch of Deathwing?
It was second placement in the whole tournament that I went into. And then
you
I
went into Walsh.
Emperor's. I did. I went into Walsh. And then my second game, I went into Emperor's Children, and got a victory there. I'm gonna say that's probably Cash's fault, since I went into his Emperor's Children
so
first
many
and then
times.
learned what not to do.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And then my third one was, or my last one for that day was into Chaos Knights against my high school buddy that I reconnected with there. And I lost that one mostly because I'm really, really, really bad going into Knights. But it was loads of fun because we just, after round 2, we just kind of played it casual.
Uh-huh.
And so that was just a really nice way to sort of round off day 1.
Yeah.
And then day 2, I started into what did I go into at the start of day 2? I went into 3 armies. I went into Space Marines, Necrons, and what was the last one? Crap, I don't remember what I went into. I'll have to look later. Lost that game, and then I went into Necrons, which was 5 Catan shards and a Gloctopus.
Yep. Oh, Silent King! Don't forget the
Silent King.
King.
Full
And the Silent
Shatterstar
King.
cringe. Nice.
And that felt very much like just going into Knights again, unfortunately. But that game
except
was
the heal.
Yeah, and the heal. I did okay. If I failed my 6-inch Drago charge in that game, and that kind of screwed me over because I was charging out of their deployment zone onto center objective into their Void Dragon, and then the plan was nuke the Void Dragon because I was charging in with the full rerolls Dread Knight and the Terminator block. So the plan was kill the Void Dragon and then consolidate onto the Silent King and just lock up his whole center board state. But Drago failed his charge and the Terminators proceeded to get wiped the next turn, basically. Drago survived, I think, 2 more rounds after that, but once they got charged back into, that was basically the entire game.
I see.
And then my last game, I went into Space Marines, and that one was just kind of whatever. It was a fun game. Hung out, talked a bunch. That was when all the raffles was announced. So I just was running back and forth to like the bar to go pick up shit for the first part of the game, and then just finished out that game and I won that one like 87 to 61, I think. Oh, that was uber fun.
Good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
The GTs can be intense, but I did hear that the number one player did in fact not attend BSO for some reason. He was busy, I guess.
Yeah, he had something going on, so he
Yeah.
couldn't.
Oh, it was Eldari. That's what it was, and that's the one I lost on pain points.
Ah, well, losing on pain points to Eldar is good to keep it that close.
Mm-hmm. You want to go over what you did, Cash?
So first game was into what the fuck was first game? Let me pull up this stuff. Where's the stuff? There's this stuff. There's this. So first game, I do know I did good. I went 86 to 34.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Yep. So I went into fucking where is it? Come on, show yourself. Space Marines, Black Templars. He tried to push into me turn 2. He got locked into combat with my Riptides. The Riptides didn't die, and turn 30 he was dead. That's how it went. He pushed out, didn't get what he needed to, and that's where the Black Templars died. Next, where was that next one? It was Chaos Knights, the next one. Close game. I had a round. I thought it was over round 2. He pushed Abominate straight into my lines, and I put my 3 anti-tank things that should each kill, make a knight dead. But 7 out of 10 5-ups against Meltas do that. It makes them not die. But we pulled it out. We got 72-79, I believe, off of that one. Next, I went into Brent.
The boy.
The boy, he just fresh off beating Jim. So I was like, it's revenge time. Revenge did not happen, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
Held it to a damn close game, 60-55.
Oh.
Held it within 5 points, so
Yeah.
pretty happy with that.
When I informed him that I knew both of you, he's like, I want to make it very clear that neither of them were pushovers. So he had nothing but compliments to say when I asked him about it.
Mm-hmm.
No, he told me that he went 3-0 the first day and then lost all 3 of his games the next day.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, he came over and he's like, yeah, sorry, I didn't hold up the path to victory for you guys.
Where you can be like, at least I lost to the person who won.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah. Keep going.
Next, I went into Dark Angels, my first game, second day. That was a hell of a game. Unfortunately, he got second. He got to go second on supply drop. Where you pick the one in the middle, that's 15 points on turn 5.
Mm-hmm.
So 15-point swing, and he is able to hold me off of it. So I didn't even get the 15. So it was in fact a 30-point swing.
Yeah.
And he also got secondaries off of it, but it came to a close game from turn 2 to turn 5. At least 70% of my Tau army was in melee with Dark Angels.
Nice.
Consistently. So yeah, he won by 10 points. So that was just because it was supply drop on just how it went.
Mm-hmm.
So lost there. Next 5th game, who did I go into? I went to Thousand
Matt.
Suns. Yeah. Oh, hello,
They went to
Jim.
Matt last game.
Matt Harnett.
I went into. No, for 5th game, I went into Thousand Suns. 6th gun was my Matt game.
Gotcha.
Went into Thousand Suns. He tried to push out, and he died for it.
That's just how it goes.
That's how it goes. He came out with his rubrics and his what are they? The Vortex Beast.
Yeah,
And
Needle F
they-
Vortex Beast.
Yeah, they just died. The first Vortex Beast, I really thought should have lived longer, but he didn't. So, was pretty good. And then we went into Matt Demons. I had a turn that I should have killed both Greater Demons of Pyros and Scar Brown. Probably 85-90% chance of killing them with what I had available. And I didn't. They just bounced it. And so, that's how it went. And that was basically a game when you can't kill 2 greater demons that are in your lines. It's kind of hard to come back from. But we held it to a pretty close game.
That's good. I do think
but
I'm.
It was my first game ever against demons, and my list is bad into them.
Yeah, I do think that the kind of not new thing, but like the correct way to look at it is just like, was I able to make it not a stomping? Because a stomping game indicates that you are innately doing something wrong.
Yeah. So, I think I held it to 68 to 90. And that was with just a horrible roll. That horrible turn. And yeah, he's like, you should have, he's like, you should have won, probably, but that turn you just failed, and so you didn't win. He's like, that's just how it is. And I was like, yep, that's just how it is. That's how 4-ups be. And honestly, it wasn't even his 4-ups. It was just my dice decided to not hit that turn.
It's like, I don't want to be lethal.
Yep. But good, went 3-3. Felt competitive most of it. So
That is good. And especially none of you guys being blown out. That feels good to hear.
Technically, I was blown out one game.
Oh, you were? Oh, I'm sorry.
A technicality.
Technicality.
Are we all going over our games or what?
Yeah,
basically.
I had run through a bit of an interview with the one of the game makers and publishers that hired me during Gen Con. Then I went through kind of everything that had happened with Gen Con with James and Cash, and then we're winding down, and they're telling me about their BSO experience, since that was my biggest regret of the convention, was not being there with you guys. So yeah, how'd it go?
I lost a lot of close games, pretty much. First game came into guard. There's a guy I've seen play a few times before from Bozeman, but he did not know what Hellbirds did. I told him what they did. He did not respect it. I had one pinball through a scout sentinel and 2 rush tanks and an infantry squad in the same turn. And now he respects them. That's the short of it. That one Hellbrew took out 500 points in the
Jeez.
on my round 2 by itself. and that kind of just at that point it's that's such a tipping point.
500 points is massive in a 2K point game.
When and my model's only 120 points that did that, so even though he kills it in retaliation, it's like I'm trading way up at that point. I'm trading up if the Hellbrutes kill one Lehman of us.
Yeah, I bet you're up against the guy who goes by Commissar Chris then.
Nope. No.
Commissar Chris did. It's the guy that usually plays the Custodies over at Bozeman.
Oh,
Usually plays.
I don't know him.
He's got a twin brother. They're Asian descent. I don't think you've seen him. Probably not.
I guess I didn't.
I've seen him a lot. That's my first time getting to play him.
Yeah, I haven't got to play him.
Second game, I went into Brett and Custodies. It was a really close game. I lost by 11, I think. I think the short of the story is I made a mistake or two more than he did, and the one big turn that the only like dice thing that really screwed me was I had Karn and my 10 Berserkers charge his Blade Champion Warden squad, and they did and the entire Berserker squad did a grand total of 3 damage.
I see.
Between him spiking 4-ups and Feel No Pains.
Custodies, baby.
Other than that, it felt like the 4-ups were always slightly in his favor. Making 4 out of 7, making 3 out of 5, stuff like that. Never like egregious spiking, but always slightly in his favor.
It's never like the oh my god batch of rolls. It's the oh yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So it was never. It's not like the dice were like screwed one way or the other, but there's that the one big Berserker charge didn't do anything, and that kind of hurt. Made a few small mistakes. Close game still. Third game, I went into Templars. Black Templars. That was the last game of the day. I was tired. I was running out of Red Bull. I was running on 3 1-hour naps instead of proper sleep. So we kind of just smashed shit into each other, and I did it slightly more tactically, and that amounted to me winning by like 30. I could tell he was a decent player, but he wasn't the same as Brett the game before, and my brain was going fried, so I kind of just like, yep, we're gonna smack the shit out of each other, and my guys did it better. So that's about it. Day 2, I opened up the day going into Matt's Chaos Demons. This is the game where I made a lot of mistakes. Even though I made like a half dozen huge, massive mistakes, Matt agreed that even though I made those mistakes, I was still about 3 or 4 dice rolls from winning the game instead of losing by 40, because it was supply drop.
Okay.
That's how supply drop goes. So I lost by like 42, 43, but after the game we both like, yeah, there's like 3 dice rolls that
really mattered.
Change. Yeah, that those 3 changed. I'm losing instead of winning. Just because it's supply drop, that's how it flips. And it doesn't help that I was doing stupid mistakes on top of it, just not seeing things I could be doing. Game 5 was into Chaos Knights. I killed the Chaos Knights. I killed all of his shit. I tabled him. Unfortunately, it was just too late. I did not have enough time to catch back up. I lost by 11 again, I think. That was the short of it. Lords of Dread is fucking stupid. Apologies. Lords of Dread is... I hate it. Because you can enhance... There's an enhancement you can put on one of the knights to give them fights first, and I'm playing World Eaters. That is terrible. And there's another enhancement that allows him to advance and charge one of his knights, which, again, terrible. Stupid. I hate it. Especially fights first. Fights first is just crippling.
Fights first is brutal.
And it's on a Chaos Knight that can basically one-shot anything I have. So yeah, it's just not a good time. And then round 6 was also into Chaos Knights.
There seem to be so many Chaos Knights.
There was 8 knights total there. Yeah, there was 8 knights total.
People go for
But
the
my round
gold.
5 opponent, My round 5 opponent was a good opponent. He played a good list. My round 6 opponent was not nearly as good as an opponent. Knights just don't freaking die. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Knights don't freaking die, and then they step on a base plate and they remove 3 of your units each every turn. So I even killed I killed 2 of his big knights before I even suffered a scratch, but then just the rest of the game, his double Gatling despoiler and his other guy, just every turn they could pick up 3-4 model, or 3-4 units.
Just absolutely ripping through things.
And the problem is that with the Chaos Knights like that is he has 4 big knights. Okay, I got through 2 of them, which normally would have been most of his stuff, but now he also has 4 little knights running around. And there's 500 points of little knights on top of all the big bullshit you have to deal with, and I hate it. I'm running just about the best. In my opinion, just about one of the best ways I could run World Eaters into knights and still, be prepared for other stuff. Not fully skewed.
Yeah, just not skewed into knights.
They just too many wounds, too much shit. I couldn't keep stuff on objective because he just kind of looks at it and it falls over because I'm World Eaters. So that's the one game where I'm not really sure what I do different to pull it out. And again, I lost by like 10 or 11 or whatever, but
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's
yeah.
Half the reason of that is, and then Cash and I had a brainstorming session on the road back. And that's why there was a random list I posted in the Warhammers chat.
We figured out maximum amount of bodies, maximum amount of shots, maximum amount of las cannon.
Specifically, World Eaters has more las cannon shots than everybody else.
That's so wild.
The closest thing we could find, we don't know Drukhari too well, but we think Drukhari Dark Lances can get close.
Yeah.
I can get over it with 1 turn of Tau using sticker missiles, but that is
1 turn versus continuous. Yeah.
Yep. And then I played that lineup on TTS versus Aaron today because it was funny.
And how did it do?
Terminators are about the worst thing 50 las cannon shots can go into, but eventually las cannon shots will happen.
I think that is the most true thing. Is that, yeah, you will... you will eventually kill them.
The list puts out, with everything on the field, it puts out 49 las cannon shots a turn.
Gotcha.
And so the turn 1, turn 1 was his. He pushed forward.
Mm-hmm.
Turn 2, his 1 blight hauler and his 1 bloat drone got evaporated because I have 49 las cannon shots.
As 49 las cannon shots do.
And then the rest of the game was basically me just hurling las cannons at Terminators until they eventually fell over while they were trying to get through a wall of armor.
Like, unironically, I think that list is, like, quite competitive. Because there's just 49 las cannons.
About the only thing I can think of that would make it hard against that list is Great Unclean Ones because they're T13. But even then, the Predator Annihilator tanks specifically are Strength 14 and Twin Linked, and they get to reroll damage. So they're better, but still, I have tools to deal with them. Unironically, I think it's a really good answer to Knights. I don't have the things in my actual collection to run it, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, unless if specifically the codexes coming out are like uniquely equipped to kill knights, which I don't think is going to happen.
No.
I'm pretty sure something's going to happen to knights.
Well, Grey Knights is the only one who I think is actually getting better, like, heavies. with our Grandmasters getting the Sublimator
Voton might be getting an upgrade.
and the
here.
Mace, I guess.
We'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've done my job of making one of the quote-unquote elite Bozeman crew give up on his past army and start playing Necron, so I've done my job.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson.
Don't call him out. He's gonna get mad at. There's a
No, he
there-
was running Death Card. He was running Death Card for
Oh,
this.
I thought he was running Necrons.
He was the last two GTs, but John was gone, so he took John's list.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the list was quite literally named "I'm John Holbrook."
Gotcha. So that's why everyone kept saying he's like. It turns out you are actually not John Holbrook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I was like, why? Yeah, no. I was like, I was under the impression that he was off of Plague League Demons, but someone told me that he's also planning on bringing that to another GT as well. Whew. I mean, I'm just feel good that there's so many positive names that I can think of for those events. So at the very least, I'm happy to hear at least none of you are specifically talking about having issues with anyone at the GTs. So it sounds like everyone was happy with their opponents.
The only one that I was like kind of against was the Chaos Knights guy. Same one that Jim played. And at times I was like,
You mean Chaos Knights or Chaos Demons?
Knights. I like Matt. Matt was good. Like as an opponent.
Matt was, yeah, I thought Matt was good as an opponent.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Chaos Knights.
Pendergrass?
No, other one. Their second one.
Round 6, that guy?
Yeah, guy.
Yeah, I didn't like that guy either.
But it wasn't like an overtly unpleasant game.
No.
It wasn't overtly unpleasant, but the first thing he did was come over and insult me, so
Damn.
Ooh.
I was pissed off. I was pissed off enough, and I know myself. I said, man, I'm gonna take 30 seconds, I'm gonna step away, I'll be back, but you done pissed me the fuck off.
Gotcha.
By the time we got to round 3, we were both laughing about it, but it just, when the guy you're playing against the first time, he comes up, first thing he says to you is he's insulting you, you're like, I just didn't like him.
Mm-hmm. Also, how are you gonna get your pillow and sweatshirt back? Because I don't have time to make a trip up there. I'm leaving on Wednesday next week.
You have plenty of time. I need plenty of time. You know how many time I just
And-
because I feel like it?
And I have my father's memorial on Friday that I have to prep for this week. I have no time.
If you want to hand it off to my family, if that could help.
Yeah, I can do that for sure. That
I don't know.
works for
You
me.
were also
Does that
saying
work
you
for
wanted
you?
an excuse to play on the table. It works for
I
me.
do want an excuse to play on the table, but I can't make it up with all the other crap I still have to do. As much as I want to, it just isn't something I can
do.
reasonably do.
Well, I can. I know that if I say that you have something that they can hold on to until I'm here, and
Okay.
now that I realize
I also have his D&D drinks book that he needs to get.
you have the D&D drink book.
Yeah, the D&D.
Oh, you do have it?
Yeah, we have it. I just Like I said, it was 3 a.m. when I got home. It wasn't
Okay.
exactly.
That's all good. Yeah, it just means I'll have to plan a trip back as soon as I can.
We'll get it figured out. However, glad to know that you guys had a good time, and I'm just happy that I wasn't a bad DM for the company for Gen Con. A thing I legitimately do regret from Gen Con is I might have suffered a little bit from my own success, because after I played ran Cyborg, I was like, this would actually be pretty fun to like show you guys, like, oh, this is the first game I ever got technically paid to run. Except when I went there after my game, I was told that they had ran out of copies, and that they had just had a large influx of people saying that they had just played the game and enjoyed it. And wanted to buy it. And I had just finished running Cyborg.
I'm surprised they didn't provide you with a copy for you to study on or anything.
No, I have the PDF of the book.
Okay.
It's not the same. Especially for such a visually stunning game. It's fine. I don't expect it. I have the other game that I was running, particularly because it wasn't released to the public, so they couldn't have sold out of it, that I have and could theoretically run you guys through. I'd have to re-get the game PDF, but the game PDF is currently available for free, so it would not be hard. And I could show you what I was running in Gen Con, especially since they gave me the minis to run space combat. So that could be a thing. But yeah, I think that is a good amount of Gen Con stuff. I appreciate people kind of coming in, but I feel like I can tie up at least the stream portion of this. First and foremost, thank you everyone for showing up, coming into the stream, talking, chatting with me, listening to me talk to Matt, James, Cash, Jim, figuring it all out, Hunter Joe, all of you in the chat, and those of you just listening in. It was a pleasure. If anyone from the Airbnb that we got to spend a week learning who each other were are watching this, pleasure to hang out with you as well. And I can say I'm legitimately looking forward to the next Gen Con. But with that, I'm gonna decompress a little bit outside of the stream with my very good friends. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I can't guarantee there'll be a stream next week. I'm sorry, my company might be sending me to a different state, but I'll let people know via the Discord. The Discord, if you're not part of it, is in the description. Otherwise, if you're not subscribed and you're watching, please make sure to subscribe if you've made it all the way to the end. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye now.